The new season of Go Battle League is now live. It just started today. And yeah, I decided to try out the new buffs on Starmie, which now has Psywave as a fast attack and also has the charge move Surf. So interesting enough, this Starmie isn't that great of a rank for Great League. Normally I'm relatively good at hoarding Pokemon for Go Battle League, but I guess and Starmie have been bad for so long that I didn't really have the best option. I mean, this one is better IV spread for Ultra League, which I could always build it for Ultra League if I decide down the line. But regardless, as you might notice here on my chart, oh, I just wanted to mention real quick, this first battle. So this is technically not my very first battle. I had a set left over from last season, and I did 3 battles prior to this set, and I got 3 wins. And it immediately put me against Galarian Corsola, which is insane that someone already has this fully built day one. I know the regular Corsola is XL. I assume this one also is XL, but the fact that even like hatched this is kind of insane. I mean, granted, if you're playing the game actively and you have a lot of incubators and such, I'm sure you got one of these. But yeah, the fact that someone has this day one, I didn't even really care about losing this. I feel like that person has much bigger issues than me losing to them in this battle. Or like me losing to them in this battle is not an issue. Because when I see that, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna be that person that plays this game. I mean, first of all, I could get in this whole rant about it, but that right there where it's a Pokemon that's hatched and it's XL, I assume it's XL, I could be wrong. Excuse me if I'm wrong about that. But the fact that it's something you have to hatch and it's actually really good is just, that's what's wrong with this game, honestly. Like, it always like forces people to gravitate towards whatever it takes to get the thing because there's an advantage to getting it in that timely manner. But yeah, this battle was kind of insane. When they switched out here, this actually helped me kind of secure the deal. This could have been problematic, but I feel like it just gets so close for me. Yeah, actually kind of insane upon rewatching this that I was able to, I know I'm kind of spoiling that I beat this team, but yeah, I bait here, I get the shield, and from here it's like I fortunately don't throw my ice punch into the dugong, which could have been pretty much game over right then and there, but I am able to get an icy wind off into Bastiodon, which kind of forces it to throw a move, and I'm gonna shield regardless at this point because of the nature of, you know, even though I'm not doing a lot, I'm still doing enough damage. And now I can get the shield, and I do have that ice punch ready on Alolan Sandslash, so just barely win the match here. So yeah, also if you're interested, you know, on my channel, I've made a lot of videos criticizing Niantic over the years, speculating that they don't particularly care much about the player base and maybe more nefarious things like what is the goal of this game. And you know, recently I've seen how there's been more information about how, I guess, Pokemon Go is mapping, you know, using your data. I guess whenever you're scanning those stops, they're building, you know, AI generated mapping of the world or whatever. And I've been, you know, a week or two ago, I was debating on making a video on it whenever I first started seeing videos about it popping up on YouTube and such. And I had a bunch of links preserved that I was gonna react to and make a video. And normally that's like my cup of tea, you know, that's like right up my alley, like what I like to talk about in the game. Especially at this point where I'm more like a casual player. I was just kind of curious what people think about it. So I don't know if you're watching this and you're interested. There's a chance I might still make a video talking about it or discussing it. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in. But yeah, these are pretty much my, aside those first 3 battles, these are my first sets of the season. And honestly, the variety right out the gate, I know it's like day one, but people are, there's either like immediate spice I'm facing or complete try-hard teams. And Yeah, I mean, that's kind of GBL for you, but day one, that's not typically what you like to see, just due to the fact that all these different updates. Honestly, this season wasn't like that crazy of updates, I don't think. But yeah, the meta looks relatively similar so far of what I've seen in Open Great League. And I also meant to mention, sorry, my brain sometimes just gets all over, it goes all over the place, but my movesets on my Pokemon in this video are limited due to the fact that I have zero charge TMs right now. I tried to get what was it, Ice Beam and is it Power Gem on Starmie, and I failed to do so. Oh no, I meant to get Surf and Power Gem, excuse me, which kind of need against like those Feraligatr matchups and the like Dugong or the, I don't know, like water type Pokemon in general. You don't really have a great tool to hit them if you don't have the Power Gem. So I'm kind of like stuck, and I still wanted to, since I already invested in Starmie a little bit, I just wanted to try it out with Ice Beam because it's not like the worst. But here I should have definitely immediately switched into Wigglytuff, and I make the mistake of kind of like reacting a bit. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting to even see Feraligatr today, even though I know it's a great pick for the Open Great League, but I pretty much saw it like almost like every game, I feel like. So yeah, watch out. Probably not the best thing to face when I'm running Starmie. But yeah, I mean, honestly, Starmie finally has like some usage. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be scenarios where Starmie might be a little bit better than others, or maybe exploring the variety of its moveset is a part of its strengths as well as a pick. But yeah, even like the Wigglytuff, I have Disarming Voice on it as opposed to something like Swift, which I think ultimately either this is the wrong Wigglytuff that I brought, or I just, again, I don't have any charge TM, so this is going to be a very interesting start to the season. I mean, I could just try to run some. I mean, I'll figure it out, but 3-2 set to start and immediately get a Shadow Feraligatr. And I don't really have a great way to deal with this as a lead, so I'm just going to switch in Wigglytuff in hopes that I can just chip like a decent amount of damage off of on it. Unfortunately, I do actually get a decent amount of charm damage on the Feraligatr, and they bring in Clodsire, which, you know, I was just thinking, I'm losing this game. Like, how am I going to bring this back? This is crazy. But, you know, one thing I've learned playing Go Battle League over the years is no matter how bleak it may look in the moment, it's sometimes best to just play out the match, because there's so many times I've been pleasantly surprised by a victory when I just thought halfway through the match, immediately at the start all the way to like halfway of the match, like, how am I going to win this? But fortunately, this is looking alright. I mean, I did get a shield with Surf, and granted, they don't know I don't have tools to deal with the Feraligatr, so that's my benefit here. But they end up having Mandibuzz in the back line, which I couldn't ask for a better backline pick, because this essentially is going to create the scenario now where I can just seal the deal with the battle. I can load up these Ice Punches and just kind of throw them back to back into Mandibuzz. Also, if you're watching this video, please hit that like button. It does help my content out a lot here on YouTube. And thanks again for tuning in. And yeah, I'm just going to let the Sandslash go. And at this point, I figured I could just farm down barely with Psywave into Mandibuzz. And fortunately, that is the case, because that was kind of cutting it close. But yeah, that was nice. I was able to bring that one back. So Lurantis lead. Pretty spicy, but again, I swear, this game sometimes just doesn't want me to play. Like, I mean, granted, maybe I just shouldn't run Starmie, but yeah, pretty insane situation here. I mean, bad lead for me, and then immediately after, I get met with a hard counter switch. So definitely not what I want to see, but I'm just gonna, I think I just let this actually go through. But yeah, even that, wow, that does so much damage still. But I wanted to preserve my energy, and I'm gonna go for the Ice Beam, since I do have it, into Lurantis. This is probably one scenario where it actually matters, but maybe they would have shielded there regardless of what I had. And yeah, I'm gonna shield once, only because I don't want to get smacked by a superpower by chance. And yeah, they end up having Oranguru in the back, and Oranguru, I know I was messing up the name of this Pokemon for a while now. Oranguru. Yeah, fortunately for me, this isn't too much of a threat, and yeah, I could pretty much just use now my Sandslash to finish up the match. But funny enough, this could have been bad, maybe. I don't know. I don't even remember how much energy the Lurantis had. I think that's why I switched out like this. And fortunately, I was able to get to that surf just barely. But yeah, Tentacruel lead. Not particularly good because I don't have any tools to really hit it. And as you can tell, fortunately for me, even though that is the case, they do shield. I guess maybe suspecting I do have the rock move. I mean, technically Starmie could run Thunder, but definitely not running Thunder here. And yeah, I'm going to switch into Sandslash now, and it keeps throwing Acid Spray, which I'm okay with. I'm going to generate a little bit of extra energy. I maybe could have got more greedy here, realistically. In comes the Lantern, which I can definitely... Excuse me, I got the hiccups there. I could knock this out like relatively good with my drill run, so definitely puts a lot of pressure on the shield game here for my opponent, and they pretty much will commit the shields. And at that point I just figured, well, maybe they don't have a way to deal with Sandslash if they're using this, and they end up having Shiftry in the back, and that's just going to be game regardless, just because I have Wiggly. Another Shadow for Alligator lead, and I instantly switch out. Definitely not the best case scenario for me, but they bring in Dugong, and I'm gonna just go for the Disarming Voice. So yeah, I mean, maybe Swift is better just because there's some matchups like the poison types that probably a little bit better to get some neutral damage off on it. But yeah, I'm just barely able to farm down Dugong here, and that's actually, I mean, I wouldn't say this is a good situation. I honestly thought they wouldn't shield this, so I got a little lucky that they end up shielding that, because sometimes, you know, I could have thrown Disarming Voice. That's kind of what I was trying to make them think. And yeah, at this point now, they have this Dunsparce here right in the back, and honestly, this is looking pretty bad for me. I don't know particularly like what I'm gonna be able to do. So I'm just gonna have to let the Sandslash go here and try my best to farm down with Starmie. So I bring in Starmie, and I'm not gonna shield here on Dunsparce either, suspecting that this might be my best case scenario. And yeah, so I throw this first Surf, and they do shield, which is great. I'm gonna commit the shield as well. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm just like so low that, you know, actually, do I just barely win this? I think I might actually just barely win this. I think I'm able to just barely farm down the Dunsparce, or no, I just barely lose. Really close battle though. Really tough one to come back from, honestly, with that lead. So I get a Primate lead, which is pretty good for me. I mean, don't want to be getting smacked by Rage Fist, of course, but they stay in, so it makes me think maybe they don't like Starmie. So I'm going to switch into Wiggly, knowing that I can take any of its moves that it throws. And they end up having Gligar here, which already is such a good situation now that I have the Sandslash in the back, so I don't really have to shield here. I could just bring in Sandslash and farm and get a lot of energy. But they end up throwing Night Slash, which I can live. So yeah, at this point, it's pretty much like really tough for them to come back. I have 2 shields. I have relatively healthy Pokemon, and yeah, they just end up quitting. So that's going to be a GG. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the Sass Squad is getting stronger each and every day. You have good morning, evening, afternoon, between, and I'll catch you in the next one. And if you'd like to watch more Go Battle League content from me, consider watching this video right here or this video right here.